Hello, my name is Charles Ardinger, and I'll be working with you as your instructor in the English 100 course you're about to start. I wanted to make this brief introductory video to let you know some things about myself and about the course that you're about to start. There are some aspects of the course that you might find helpful to know about as we continue. So, let me continue introducing myself. Again, my name is Charles Ardinger. Hello. I've been working Coastline since 2013, starting in the Student Success Department and eventually becoming an instructor specializing in English 100 courses. So you may be in pretty good hands here. I'm also very interested in English grammar. I like to talk about English grammar, and I really like to answer questions about it. So if you have any of those kind of questions, please don't hesitate to email me. I'd really enjoy having that conversation. And that's some about me. I'll be learning more about you as we continue through your writings. And now I'd like to show you some aspects of the class that knowing about will help you as we keep going. And to do this, we need to take a look at our class's home page, or front page, or landing page. I'm not really in the computer science department, so I don't really know the technical term. We can think of it as our home page. It's got the title of the class on it. It's got a cute little logo that I made on it. It's got a picture of me on it. And on the right side here, and down the middle of the page here, it has a schedule on it. The schedule has a list of assignments and a list of the dates those assignments are due. This can be quite helpful in considering time management, which is a really important skill in any online class. We don't really meet in a specific place at a specific time, so we're kind of on our own for keeping up with assignments in a class like this. A schedule of this kind should help you know what you should be doing at any particular time, just by looking at a due date and comparing it to the date that you're currently living in. You can see what activity you should be performing right now. And that's one way that I have of communicating with you, of letting you know what the expectations of the class are at any given time. Another way of communicating with you comes at the top of the page here, where there are announcements. I'll be posting an announcement once or twice every week to discuss things I see in class, or issues of grammar or presentation, or something I've seen in my, outside of class life that seems to relate to what we're doing in class. Now, the way to look at these announcements is by clicking the title of the announcement, which will lead us to a page that looks like this. And I've written a sample announcement that you can pause this video and read at your leisure. It says pretty much what I just said. I'll be posting one or two of them per week. They'll discuss grammar or class issues or interesting tidbits of my life that I think relate to class. I won't be necessarily quizzing you on the information that you get from these announcements, but I do think that information will help you a great deal as you keep practicing your skills at writing academic English of the kind we're practicing here. So I think it's in your best interest to look at these announcements as they appear. And again, that's a way that I have of communicating with you throughout the class. Another way of communicating with you is through your grades. This is a class. You will be completing assignments. I will be grading those assignments, but I'll be giving them more detailed feedback also. And the way to find that feedback is to go to this link, Grades, which will lead you to a page that looks like this. And we find that there's a list here of assignments by title and their due dates, and you see that one of them has a date of submission. It's been completed. So we can look at that assignment and see how I responded to this effort. Clicking on the title of the assignment gets you to a page that contains all the feedback, and the feedback comes in three forms. You'll see here a comment. You'll see here a link that says Show Rubric, and you'll see here a link that says View Feedback. This comment is of the kind that I will make on everything you submit to me. I'll let you know what I see in it as a reader. I'll let you know what your writing says to me. And I'll also give you advice on how you can refine your work for future assignments, either in this class or in other classes as well. As writers, we all need this kind of feedback to make our work communicate more directly with our readers. We can't always see through the eyes of a reader, so as the instructor in this class, I can provide that. I can also grade your work by using a rubric, which is a list of criteria with point values attached to them, so that I can attach a score to your work. So to look at the rubric, you can click this link that says Show Rubric, and you'll see this chart with criteria and point values. And you'll notice that this assignment does pretty well in the first criterion, does pretty well in the second criterion, but doesn't do as well in the third criterion. Out of the 5 possible points, the student gets only the 3 points of kind of second place. What that means is that the student can look at this chart and notice that he needs more practice in that particular skill. And so that's something the student can concentrate on as we keep going. We can get rid of this rubric by pressing this X so that we can see this link that says View Feedback. By pressing this link, we'll create a little copy of the work that you sent me, the actual file that you submitted, as if it were a paper that you sent me. On this paper, quote-unquote paper, I can make annotations. And these come in 2 kinds. This is an annotation that I write, as it were, directly on your paper, between these lines of typed text. And I'll use this kind of annotation to talk about issues of grammar that I see, or ways to make a sentence seem more academic in style. I also have highlighted annotations. You'll notice that this text is highlighted, and that this highlight leads to a text box, which contains more comments from me. I'll use this when I need to make more elaborate comments, when a sentence that I see doesn't make sense to me, or I have a more detailed way of improving that sentence's communication with an academic audience. So, in these 3 ways, through annotation, and through the rubric, and through a comment, I will leave feedback on your work so that we can communicate about how to refine that work and make it even more academic, more fitting of the kind of writing you want to be doing in a college classroom. But I'd like to communicate with you even more directly if that's possible, and for that reason, I have instituted what I call student visiting times. These are basically office hours. I have a Zoom office in which I appear on Tuesdays this semester between 18:30 and 2000, or between 6:30 p.m. and 8 p.m. if you don't like military time. This is an opportunity for us to get together and to converse, to chat. We can talk about things that you see in class. We can talk about questions you might have on the assignments. We can talk about what you see going on in the world, or even about your personal feelings. I'm okay with that. You'll notice in the syllabus that you can earn extra credit points from attending these meetings, which are optional and non-mandatory. And the way to get to them is to click this In My Zoom Office link, which will lead you to the recurring meeting that happens on Tuesdays between 6:30 and 8 p.m. And I look forward to seeing you there. I'd like to finish by pointing out these optional grammar refresher modules that I've included. These are ways to brush up on grammar issues that you see in your work. If anything grammatical seems to be frustrating you, you might take a look at one of these optional refreshers and work your way through an automated module about that particular grammar problem. If you have questions, of course, you can email me. I'd like to encourage that. And in fact, if you'd like to suggest another topic for one of these automated modules, I'd really like to hear about that from you. I'd like to serve the actual needs of my actual students to the best of my ability. And so, in this way, through email, of course, through student visiting time, through these schedules, and through the grades and announcements, I'll be communicating with you as much as I can through this class. And that's pretty much what I want to say about those aspects of the class. Again, if you have any kind of question about anything at all, please do email me. And I'd like to finish this introduction by saying thank you. First, I'd like to thank you for enrolling in the class. Without any students, there would not be a need for a class, and without a class, there wouldn't be much need for me. So I'd like to thank you sincerely for helping me keep my job. I'd also like to thank you for asking lots of questions as we continue. I can't always tell when I'm making sense, so I need feedback from you in the same way that you need feedback from me, so that we can know that we're communicating with each other and that we understand each other to the best of our ability. When you ask a lot of questions, it helps make the class much more useful for all of us. And finally, I'd like to thank you most sincerely for your time and attention.